Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special podcast. I'm Meso.
I'm LJ.
I'm Purple.
And I'm Haley.
And today we're going to be giving our review of the Lego Movie 2, the second part. Spoilers will abound, though not right away. We're going to mark it when we start talking about spoilers. So if you want to hear some spoiler-free thoughts, stick around until the time we give you. But yeah, how's everybody doing this week?
I have no idea.
I'm good.
Like, my
What does that
default
mean?
answer is, I don't know. It's like, nothing's been happening, I guess. Oh, I mean, my Kickstarter is still going really well, but...
Spill Purple, tell us about your Kickstarter.
Dude, I'm almost to $2,000. That's, like, insane.
That is pretty insane. I won't lie.
Yeah. It ends on Friday, so if you, want to do anything, then, do that soon.
Do it!
Woo!
Do it! Can I
Is there a
link it?
2,000 goal? Yeah, you can link it. You're fine.
No, it's 2,500, but...
Oh, you're never gonna make it then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dang!
I mean, I've already resigned to that, but...
Wow, what a
Even
quitter.
Even so, your progress is commendable.
Yay.
All right. So here's how this is gonna go down. The four of us have seen the Lego Movie 2. We're gonna give some brief thoughts on it, and then we're gonna mark when spoiler discussion will start taking place. Before we even talk about the movie, though, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Rip the LCU. Because to say the Lego Movie 2 has done disastrously in the box office would be
So far.
maybe a slight exaggeration, but looking at what we have so far, that's what it implies. To put it into perspective, the first Lego Movie's opening weekend domestically was, I believe, 70 million. This movie's was 34 million. So it has achieved exactly half as much money, and only slightly more than the Ninjago movie.
You may say that it's because it's a February release, but the Lego Batman movie was released in 2017 on February, and their opening weekend box office was 53 million.
Yeah. So it's not doing well, and already I see the memes just everywhere on every site. Lego Movie 2, everything is not awesome at the box office. Why Lego Movie 2, the second part, isn't clicking? And they say Hollywood Reporter has an article. They basically say blame the movie's surprisingly soft performance on franchise fatigue, according to box office analysts. A less than inspired marketing campaign is another factor, analysts said, which I will 100% agree with. The marketing on this movie was beyond bad. Not the fact that it didn't exist, but because it was, for lack of a better term, pardon me, this isn't substantive, but it was anti-hype. That's really the only way I can put it.
Yeah.
Months of advertising, months of trailers with just no hype circulating.
Yeah.
A lot of that was due to concerns about the movie's plot, but a lot of it was just due to lackluster trailers, unfunny jokes, just nothing really inventive about the way the movie was marketed. And they ended up creating a sense of dread that never manifested into the movie itself.
Yeah. I'm also going to throw the BCC under the bus here.
Do it.
Because our good friends, and by our, I mean mine and Envy's good friends over at the BCC, have all collectively agreed to not see the Lego Movie 2 in theaters, except for Orion. So I'm not only calling you guys out, I am throwing you all under the bus. Now, their reasoning made sense. They're like, well, based on all that we have seen and heard, this doesn't look like it's gonna be a good movie. So we're not going to support it with our money if it's not going to be good.
Yep.
But that's understandable. That's perfectly reasonable. I wouldn't do that with most movies either. I make two exceptions, Lego and Marvel. But now it's kind of biting everyone in the heels.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love this one quote from an analyst in this article. Haley, you're going to love this.
Oh gosh, is it Ninjago?
I certainly think franchise fatigue is a major factor in the massive property devaluation of this Warner Brothers franchise, says Jeff Bach of Exhibitor Relations. Audiences probably could have done without Ninjago.
You know what? I agree. They could have probably done without a Ninjago movie.
Ninjago
Yeah.
fans could
If
have
they
done
cared
without it.
enough, yeah.
And the truth of the matter is, 5 years is a long time. The second part seemed like a retread from the get-go, resting on the laurels of the original.
See,
Which, yeah, I can understand.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not totally subscribed to the theory that it's too many, that there are too many Lego films, because this is the fourth one, and the first two are stellar. The Lego movie is obviously excellent. I personally believe the Lego Batman movie to be equal to the Lego movie in its excellence. I think it's an immensely hilarious film and has a ton of memorable moments. As soon as I was out of the theater, I was like, I need to watch that again. I missed so much because it threw so much at you. It was just unrelentingly fantastic. Ninjago... Well, I mean, I fell asleep during it, so...
We don't talk about that.
But
It's
we
just
do
timing.
talk about it.
Yeah,
The
not
franchise missing
favorable.
happened because of timing. We had
Yeah.
the massive gap between the Lego movies, but the two spin-offs were released in the same year.
I mean, I guess,
And
but
Ninjago needed another year, at least.
weren't those two released in 2017? That's at least a full year of separation.
No, it was February and September.
Yeah.
That's still
Which
a
is-
while. We still
it's
have
still-
a
it's
year
like- it's
between
half a
Ninjago
year.
and now. You
Between
That's
know?
not
those
so much
two
what I'm
movies.
talking about. I mean, people were burned out by then, and now it's the Lego Movie 2 is just
Oh.
going off there.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Okay, so it never actually recouped.
No. If Ninjago hadn't happened, it would be a more, like, you would have
I-
only good movies, and it would be enough
I
spread
wish
out. It'd be fun.
Man flipped. Because then
that.
Ninjago would have been, oh man, they're already kind of dying out. And then Batman would have just, like, fire and not got people excited about Lego movies again before
Exactly.
Because I think the one reason why
So-
this movie isn't doing so well is because Ninjago left a bad taste in the general audience for the LCU. So
Feels bad.
Thanks, Ninjago.
no,
Thanks. Not you know what, Ninjago? Not only
no,
did you.
that's thanks.
Hmm?
Thank Warner Brothers. It's not Ninjago's fault.
So anyway, back to Ninjago being awful and killing the LCU, which is absolutely gonna kill the Lego company because they put so much time and effort into the sets and the
You're
stock
gonna
that
cancel
they have.
Ninjago!
They're
Now
gonna
the box
cancel
office is
Ninjago?
failing!
Yeah,
Dude,
no,
Lego is
see,
canceled.
oh. Canceled. Not even Bionicle can save Lego now.
I mean,
As
probably
Prentice says, Ninjago was supposed to be out in 2016, but that didn't happen, and that's why we got Day of the Departed shutters.
So there's no winning in this situation, like at all.
Nope.
Lego fans didn't win. LCU fans didn't win. Ninjago fans lost twice. Like they doubled down on losing.
Batman fans won.
So what's
Yeah.
what's the point? Movie in theaters. Go
Yeah.
see it in theaters, please.
It's not too late. Hashtag watch Lego Movie Second Part Live
God.
2019. Make
Because
it happen.
was it
Like,
next
it's a
week is
legit
President's
fun movie.
Weekend, right? I think that's kids have school off on Monday, so I think they're expecting hopefully a bigger boom next weekend. So go see it, please.
Actually,
Please.
you should see it for President's Day because Abraham Lincoln is in the movie. You owe it to him.
Yeah, there you
Oh my
go.
gosh.
Epic.
7 viewings ago.
Mm.
Continue.
But yeah, that's basically just that.
And
That's the
itself
state
would
of
be better
things.
than those.
I'm sure we'll continue talking about it on the Breakfeed podcast and updating you all with the results of the movie. But for now, let's actually talk about the movie
Yeah.
itself.
Let's.
This is when the spoilers come in.
No,
Not yet.
Not yet.
No, yeah.
Give a brief summarization of what we all thought about the movie in no particular order. Anyone want to go first?
Me.
Purple
For
say
one.
it.
Okay, so I felt like the beginning of the movie felt a little off. It sort of felt almost like just like a lot of retread or whatever. But then once it got into the actual plot, I was like, oh, this is a really fun movie. And then I ended up really liking it. So
All right.
Would you recommend it to
Okay.
people?
yes, go see it, please.
Okay. Okay. All right. One of you two next.
I mean, Haley, you go first.
Okay. I mean, Tyler and I, we saw it together, so that was probably the highlight of the movie. Not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
For reasons we will disclose later. But really enjoyed it. From the moment I started to the moment it ended, the plot was great. They threw great twists at us. And the animation was amazing, especially with new styles that they introduced, and the characters were great. I can't really complain about any of the characters, but I just had a fun time. It was a lot of fun, and the songs were not that bad. So I'm
Songs are great.
kudos to the songwriters, so especially for Healer. So yeah,
All right.
double thumbs up. Go see it at least 5 times, like I probably will.
All right, Elder.
Yeah, no, I mean, we'll get more into general specifics soon. That's kind of contradictory, general specifics. I liked the movie.
Nice.
I thought it was a super fun time. It was an enjoyable film to watch. I went in with the lowest possible expectations, and it completely usurped all of them. It was just a lot of fun. It's definitely an enjoyable experience. I don't personally feel it lives up to the same caliber as either the Lego Movie or the Lego Batman movie, but it completely supersedes Ninjago and makes up for that at the very least. It is genuinely fun. I absolutely recommend you go see it, even if I hate movie theaters very much. You should definitely see it in theaters. It was a fun time. I recommend it.
I absolutely loved this movie. I loved it. Almost everything about this movie. I loved the plot, the characters, the jokes, the animation. I think the best decision they ever could have made was making this a musical. I think it added so much. It made it so much more fresh and different from the other movies. And pretty much every song was done very, very well and very creatively.
I've been listening to them on Spotify.
Ditto.
Great.
It's great. Well, on YouTube, not Spotify. There were 2 things I didn't like, one of which I'm going to talk about later, and the other one is some of the jokes that they put in the trailers weren't funny. Like Wild Style talking to Sweet Mayhem about how Emmett sucked. That wasn't really funny. And the "I'm your worst nightmare" part wasn't really funny. Basically, I think they put all their worst jokes in the trailer, which I find counterproductive to good marketing. But either way, the parts of the movie that I hadn't already seen were awesome. And honestly, like, I need to rewatch the Batman movie because I've only seen that once. But as of now, my impression is that I like this movie among the best in the franchise, on par or better than Batman, and I see an argument being made for it being better than the first Lego movie. I don't know if I personally agree with it, but it's definitely an argument you can make.
Dang. Okay, I want to hear that argument because yeah.
What?
I don't know about that. I want to hear that argument. I don't know about that, but
I just think the moral is way more layered. The first movie's moral is very predictable. Once you know that it's a live action movie, you know exactly what direction they're going to go with it.
the enjoyment of watching it, not knowing that it's live action. So
True, which you didn't have, eh?
yeah, which I didn't
Yes,
have, but I still didn't know where they were going until the moment it happened. So
Bah. All right. So let's talk about spoilers. Anyone who doesn't want to get spoiled, tune out now. I'm gonna give you a 30-second.
Go see the
buffer.
movie.
Just take a quick out, go see the movie.
Yeah,
Go see
pause
it
the movie,
twice.
go see it,
Go
go
read
see it.
reviews. It's gonna be nice. Have some fun. See it thrice. I don't know where I'm going.
I don't know. You're stalling for 30 seconds, and it's fascinating.
You're right.
Very, very briefly, I would like to clarify. There's some conversation happening in the live YouTube chat. Everyone here, at least for the most part, we're big fans of Ninjago, the theme. However, we aren't.
Were?
No, we are.
It's an art.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's the word. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
And
No,
purple's not anymore, really.
Oh.
XD.
Yeah,
Purple,
I don't
no.
know. I'm sorry.
they upped the amount of dragons, and purple is like, I hate those things.
What?
I can't handle all the dragons.
Karmic seesaw. The dragons
Dragon
rebalance,
pushed
and now we
away.
lose purple.
Can you believe it?
Yeah.
I can't
But-
afford all the dragon sets, so it's just like,
Aw.
Yeah. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
but we're fans of Ninjago, but the movie was mostly a letdown for the majority of the people here. I think it's an average film at its best. It's just, 5 out of 10. Pure plain average.
it's a great parody of the show. It takes the ideas from the show, and I
I
don't know
wouldn't
that
go that
anyone
far.
can really understand it. But
It's
the
an
poor
okay
ninja
parody.
yeah, it's an okay parody.
Yeah. So,
It does its job, but very badly.
yeah.
All right, we've had enough of a buffer. Let's talk about spoilers. Where do you want to begin? How do you want to start?
Dude, the freaking moral of this
Danger
part is so
vest.
good.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like,
No, go ahead.
I didn't really know what I was expecting. I guess I kind of expected just a boy versus girl thing.
As everyone
Not.
did.
Yeah, I'm so glad they didn't do that. I'm so glad they just had like a girl character just do whatever, and like
Yeah.
that's it. There's like no mega focus on like, oh, but she's a girl, duh. Like
Nope.
they didn't make it a big deal, which is
Yeah.
great.
That wasn't the focus at
It was
all,
a-
honestly. Like, this film is not a film about genders, which is what everyone was really, really, really worried about. It's a sibling film. The first one was a father-son film. This one is now, it's a brother-sister film, and they handle it brilliantly.
Which I
I
double
really
like because I have brothers.
I really resent all
Yeah,
the
I have a brother too,
advertising
yeah.
and the community fear mongering that we participated in, though I don't believe that it was for a unjustified purpose. I think the interviews and the advertising and everything they did definitely implied they were going a direction that they didn't actually end up going. But looking back on it, it's very frustrating. When I complain about stuff, I like for it to be for a purpose. You know what I mean? I feel like we wasted our time on those brick feeds.
Yes.
Because the actual
Yes, we
movie
did.
is pretty solid.
It's
almost
as if leak culture is a bad thing.
This wasn't even leak culture. I didn't read the plot leaks. This was their
Yeah.
interviews.
That's true. You had
This
an
is the-
incredible amount of restraint. I'm proud of you.
Literally only did
Me
it because of
too.
Haley. Nobody else would have gotten me to do it.
Oh, okay, thanks.
And I'm so
thanks.
glad.
Appreciate that.
Including
So
you
glad he
guys.
didn't.
Yeah.
I'm so glad he didn't, because it could have been really bad.
All right.
Could have
Yeah.
been really
Well,
bad. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
basically the
think
plot was
everyone did waste their time, but I don't think it was unfounded. It's a little bit. If you watch Ninjago Cast, we recently touched upon expectations and people reading into things, and I think we definitely fell into that. But I'm not surprised we fell into that, given what ended up happening.
yeah.
yeah. But I guess the moral of our discussion is that the plot was, I wouldn't say like rock solid. There's like some holes in it. There's, some of the live action scenes went on for a bit too long. Like with the mom, wasn't really funny.
The mom was freaking hysterical. Oh my god.
Fair enough.
I love
We
that
have
actress.
tastes then.
Oh, I love her too. Her improv
But-
was.
On the whole, it was done basically perfectly. I can't really imagine the moral being done any better. It was a sufficient mix of clever integration of real life stuff into the Lego landscape, giving this, like when Armageddon happened, the visuals on that were absolutely stunning. Everything just went off without a hitch, and then they brought it back for a nice, satisfying, emotional conclusion that flipped the first movie and did it a bit of a different way. With Lucy being the one who was out and Emmett was stuck under the.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
The
very
drive.
creative.
I feel like this
Um,
is a bit of a good opportunity to. Like, I don't know when you wanted me to do it, but we
It's
do.
fine.
We have a little bit of a clip to show.
So this clip will
Oh,
only
gosh.
make sense if you know me at all. And I think any of our regular podcast listeners may have heard me talk about in the podcast how much I despise time travel. I hate it. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. With very few exceptions, I typically think that anything that introduces time travel just ends up bringing unnecessary plot holes and stupid questions. And it seems to follow me everywhere I go. In every franchise I like has some kind of time travel. So when it happened in this movie, I had a very visceral reaction during the credits and throughout the whole movie. But Haley managed to get a small bit of it on
Yes.
recording.
All right.
But this was an 11:30 showing, so don't worry. It's completely empty. The
So,
entire
Um,
place is empty.
two brief things. First of all, I don't actually know if the audio is going to be hearable for
That'd be very
the folks,
disappointing if it
the
was.
folks on the stream. I just don't know, because the way that the audio is set up, I can play music, that's fine. I can speak, that's fine. You guys are heard, that's fine. However, this isn't being played through those means. It's being played through the streaming software. So I can't guarantee it. If it doesn't, I'm going to rely on everyone in the chat to let me know. Second, and more importantly, We spent years here at TTV doing our darndest to bring you all the highest quality videos and vlogs that we possibly can.
Oh,
And
my
Meso
goodness.
sat here like a stinking, like he had a claw hand and recorded in vertical like some sort of caveman. We finally worked that out of him. But then Haley comes along like a cave woman and is like, how use phone? And does it in vertical as well. So now we have to spend the exact same amount of time trying to get her to record it like a normal human being that contributes properly to society. Never record in vertical!
I recorded a few videos of Haley rocking out the Taylor Swift, and it was also in vertical.
You disgust me. You know what? That's it. You record 0 vlogs at Brick Fair. Absolutely none of them. You understand? Both of you. Both of you.
I'll bring my nice camera and shoot it all in vertical.
I don't care. You're gonna take that camera. You're gonna take the camera. You're gonna give it to
Just for
VAR.
that.
You're gonna give it to someone who understands cinematography, filmmaker.
Excuse me? We want to go there?
Oh, let's
boy.
go there.
Just play the clip.
Okay.
Let me see your stuff that you've done, else, and
I don't claim to be a cinematographer or want to be a filmmaker.
Oh my gosh. Fast. I had to do this on the fly.
Oh, wow. On the fly.
fly.
You're so pressured. Come on, flip the
The
phone.
clip. Play the clip.
Everyone mute.
Okay. There we go. I hope.
So we just got out of the Lego
Time
movie
travel
too.
follows me everywhere I go. I can't escape it. It's in every single piece of media I like. Everything. It's like a virus. I can't get it out of my life.
So yeah.
It sucks. It's horrible. The worst part is that it worked. I can't even hate it because it worked.
Well, I thought the movie was absolutely awesome.
All right. So, I'm hoping that worked. I know no one in the actual...
It did. I checked.
All right, fantastic.
Woo.
So, there you go, everyone. That was Meso's wonderful reaction to time
It's
travel.
freaking great. I think my favorite part is when I have to pause to take a drink, and then I do it for a solid 2 seconds, and then right when Haley starts talking again.
I'm like, are you done?
Oh my god!
So.
It was.
I understand the moment when he delivered the line. Neither of us saw it coming. He said the line, "I'm you," from the future. It looked like he was ready to throw his cup at the screen. And he was so uncomfortable. He couldn't sit still for 5 whole minutes. If the theater was empty, it would have been. Know what it would have. But
I leaned forward in my chair. I was like, I can't freaking believe what I was seeing. It was complete and utter
it
disbelief.
was so amazing. It was so great.
I am so happy that I had the chance to see the movie before they did. So as they were, we had finished recording in JagoCast. They were going off to see the movie, and Meso, before he leaves, goes, "LJ, tell me, what do you think about this movie? What am I in for?" And I told him, grinning ear to ear, "Meso, I think you're gonna like this movie."
Why does my misery bring you such joy?
Because you make everyone else miserable for your joy.
Fair point. You're not wrong there.
Karmic seesaw.
I'm taking the karmic seesaw. I'm smacking you upside the face with
There's
it.
supposed to be time travel in Ninjago movies. Put it in the Lego movie too.
Oh my god.
That was another reason why this movie was so much fun to watch. Was when the time travel thing happened, internally I was like, "Oh, Meso's gonna fuck out."
It was
And
really
so-
bad.
The other
everyone?
scene
Oh.
when the freaking Fabuland characters
Oh
Really?
my
being
gosh.
enslaved to make the cake, I was like, "Oh my gosh, LJ's gonna love that."
I was thinking about this because I
died.
watched the movie. I saw the
died
Fabuland
laughing.
characters, enslaved. I'm going, "You speak to me, movie." But then it got even better because the whole time, the whole premise of the film is Emmett has to go save his friends from Queen whatever I want to be, and as soon as they meet her, it is assumed she is an evil queen, and this is
She has
one
the
of the
best song, by the way.
one of the two twists. And so you see her enslaving all the Lego furries, and you think, "Oh my gosh, she's evil." But then you find out at the end, no, she's not evil at all, meaning the movie is 100% condoning furry slave labor.
I love it.
So
That was probably the best joke in the movie. That got the loudest laugh out of me. Was the fabulous slaves.
Can confirm. Can confirm.
yeah. So
I think we all need to get Tyler Rex's ship for his birthday
Don't you even dare!
God.
Don't start this.
because it's confirmed to be a time travel
No.
ship. So
Yes!
No.
Yes!
No.
I really like how he legit just went back in time and got a bunch of dinosaurs, though. Like,
just because
that's great. Just because.
he didn't need to, and like
They had
trained
all
them
the
and
reference,
everything.
like, tennis. It was like, oh, here's a tennis ball, and they're like, tennis.
I love how like almost all of them have names, kind of like the crazy cat lady's cats.
The
But
other
one of them is just the other one.
No,
No,
the
the other
rapper
one.
so much.
I think the thing about the time travel, another thing with the pre-release interviews and stuff, is there was a controversial interview that came out before the movie's release, where they were like, at one point during the movie, a character is gonna say something like, "Is any of this really happening?" And I got really irate at that because I don't want them to do that whole thing where like the whole movie is just not really real. But if I had known the part of the movie they were going to use that on with the absurd part, like they used it in reference to time travel. They're like, maybe none of this is really happening. Maybe this is just an internalized thing of growing up in adolescence or whatever. And he was like, I don't know what that means. It was perfect. It was perfectly well done.
Action Lego movement. I don't know what to call that. They're moving around, but still live action.
Very
Lego
unsettling,
action.
but funny.
It was really cool and really well animated.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that it's different than what they're usually in, but you know it's animated. Oh,
Yeah.
they look different. They move different. They talk the same.
You mean
But,
stop motion?
So good. Like when they fight each other, when Emmett and Rex fight each other, and it's really funny because they can't really fight, so they're just kind of like butting chests.
Oh yeah.
Animation,
That
where
was awesome.
Okay, I get it.
that's cool. That's really really cool. That's attention to detail.
So basically, as much as I would love to rant and rave about the time travel, as I said in the video, while I hate it on principle, I think it works here.
It
Number
did...
one, because they acknowledge that it's not actually happening. And number two, because they use it as a story device to actually have emotional resonance.
Yeah.
Not just for cheap gimmicks.
See, the reason why I figure time travel doesn't work in the majority of media is because it creates inconsistencies, and there are ramifications that are not properly capitalized on or conveyed or followed
Or
through.
considered.
Or even considered. We see this in the Ninjago TV show where time travel has an effect on the story, and there are massive, unforgivable inconsistencies because of that.
Wrong place, wrong time. Hands up time.
This movie works. The reason time travel works here specifically is simply because of the nature of the Lego films. It can
Bingo.
only work as well as it does in a movie like this because it's a movie like this.
Pretty much.
It fixes it. Rex goes away, or he fades away because he wouldn't exist. So they fix everything. There's not even a loophole in just the time travel part.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a singular loop, which I think is the big thing. When time travel like goes everywhere, then that gets crazy. But it's just one time travel loop. I'm severed.
They had a lot of it was a delicate tightrope to walk, basically, but I think they pulled it off.
Yeah.
To my great chagrin.
Chris
Now-
Pratt to his maximum like potential, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Dear, I love Chris Pratt so much. Oh my god.
He did super well in that movie. I can see why he was so hyped up about it before release.
yeah.
Like it all makes sense now. So I guess I want to wind it back a little bit. I want to talk about the theme of the movie in general, because if it wasn't gender roles, what was it? It was growing up. It was maturity. It was, is Lego still cool It was a sibling dynamic. All interesting themes to tackle. Most movies would have buckled under the weight of it, but I think they pulled enough from each one. They made it work very well. Up to and including just the way the movie began. I think it was wonderful. It caught everyone up to speed. It added on an extra scene that later was relevant, and then it cut 5 years into the future at Apocalypseburg. And they just they played off that so well for the short period of time that was actually in the movie. It was honestly very impressive how much they sold that whole time change and mentality change. And all the jokes that spawned from it are just too numerous for me to even remember. Emmett building the bridge over the people fighting. I'm Chainsaw Dave now! Cracked up.
Sewer babies.
Yeah, sewer babies. And then Unikitty's freaking giant angry form. Scribble Cop's brief cameo. It was just, honestly, it was just a one after the other. This is going to be a movie that benefits from rewatches and joke analysis. Because, LJ, you can't even remember most of the jokes.
Yeah. So I remember the movie. I remember the plot. I watched the movie. I paid close attention. I did not fall asleep. But I don't remember most of the jokes, pretty much at all. I remember the other one, and I remember, finally, with the help of some friends, I remember pantsing. Wait, no, fudge. Not pantsing.
Hi, where are my pants?
No, buddy, you're couching for an ouchin. That was absolutely amazing, and I am absolutely going to use that in the future. Yeah.
And Marvel's not returning our calls.
Yeah.
I remember the one where the mom was like comparing stepping on a Lego to childbirth, and she's like, "It's real close."
Yep.
Mom and like another mom next to her were laughing really hard at it.
I was joined.
But I need to see it again.
Batman is off on a standalone adventure, and Marvel won't return our calls. Left with his original Aquaman.
And not Larry Poppins.
The jokes, when I remember them, they're really good, and that feeds well into some of the songs. I say some of the songs.
Oh,
like I liked the first one with Queen, whatever wannabe. That was
easily the best one.
That was good.
Yes, that one's fun.
I like
Not
Everything's
evil,
Not
evil,
Awesome.
Not least evil person.
Everything's not awesome.
That's probably my favorite. The end credits song is really
Right.
good, though I didn't pay the closest attention to it. And I don't care about any of the others.
Not even the Gotham City one. Oh, that was so funny.
Wait, which one is the Gotham City one?
Where she was singing to Batman.
Yeah, that's my
Gotham
least
City
favorite.
guy?
That is actually
Oh, that's so good.
that is my least favorite of them. I did not like that one.
And I agree by proxy. It's my least favorite of them, but it doesn't mean I didn't like it.
Batman's ego, so great.
Pretty much. It's just outright manipulation. Yet she's not evil.
I am still no bigger fan of Catchy Song than I was before the movie.
Come on!
So,
The whole
I-
sequence is genius.
I approve of the scene they used it because they literally just repeated the song's gonna get stuck inside your head over and over and over again. I wish the lyrics were a little bit more creative than that for the scene instead of just getting stuck inside your head, because it wasn't getting stuck inside their head. It was like mind controlling them. Same time, I still think the song is very sloppy. So
I mean,
Great.
I don't know.
Who's the random dude in the vents again? Like,
Bruce Willis?
Yeah.
Okay, so this actually leads into another issue I have with the movie. And I felt that they went a little too hard into the self-referential material. Not Lego, but general Hollywood movie stuff.
Yeah.
For instance, Bruce Willis
Cameo.
being there is a funny joke if you know who Bruce Willis is. And him being in the air duct is a super funny joke if you ever seen Die Hard.
Yes.
No.
But if you
If
haven't
seen it, it's wasted on you.
If you haven't seen it, and you're not familiar with that reference, and you don't know who the heck Bruce Willis is, because he's not that prolific of an actor at this point anymore. I mean, he's still in big movies, don't get me wrong, but not to the level that he was. Then that's going to be completely lost. Or heck, even these kind of one-off, from the hip zingers, like Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad going, "That'd be suicide!"
Suicide mission.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. That that's totally lost on you if you don't know who that is, you don't know what that's from, you don't know Suicide Squad. It works in a Lego Batman movie because they incorporate it really, really well, and because it's a Lego Batman movie, but here it just feels like an excuse to have a Harley Quinn minifigure.
I agree,
Yeah,
but I
something
feel
with
like the
Velma.
Lego movies have adapted to be more. They're like the Avengers of Lego movies now, and that maybe shouldn't be the direction they should be going in. That's certainly a perspective to be had, but it's all about the crossovers to me. Like that's why they exist. It's because the Lego movie. The moment they put Batman in the Lego movie, I raised myself to this being their inevitable fate of it being a Warner Brothers picture who has access to all these licenses and characters and stuff that they can just use. And the moment they put all the villains in the Batman movie, I knew that was what they were going to do for the Lego movie too, except 10 times worse. And what do you know?
No, I actually think it's much better in the Lego Movie 2 than it is in Lego Batman, even though I think it really, really worked in Lego Batman.
Oh yeah, better and worse. I mean in quantity, not necessarily quality.
Fair enough. Fair
Like
enough.
they keep dialing up the amount of people they put in the movie from
Yeah.
other things.
I suppose. I'm not super big into it, at least with the original Lego movie. It was there, but I felt like it relied more heavily on the fact that they were all Lego. This movie didn't as much. Crunch.
Fair
crunch. Crunch.
I'm sorry, I'm hungry right now.
No, really. Okay.
No, I mean, like, I don't really have too much to say on the musical bit, other than I loved pretty much everything. And I was very skeptical of them doing that, but I feel like it was one of the best decisions they could have made. It just kept things so fresh, and it added so much, and the animation was absolutely brilliant during the sequences. Particularly the Queen's song. It's probably my favorite.
Her
Not evil.
animation is amazing.
Yeah.
With the forms that she turns into, and oh
I was
my
very
gosh.
skeptical
Her
about that
face.
character from the trailers, but they did so much with her. She was a good addition.
I
very
was
good.
skeptical as well. I think let's talk about her for just a brief moment, because the twist with her, I think, was one of the highlights of the film. I think that
Agreed.
there are a couple of different twists in this movie, and this being one of them, and it was probably the best of them, because at the end
It's
of the
the
film,
heart.
it's the original peace offering, and that is so excellent. I didn't see that coming, but all the signs are there.
Yeah.
It's the same
I
color
know, it's the
scheme.
same
It's
colors.
all malleable. You see it in the beginning, and it has such a great emotional impact at the end, and it's just easily one of the best parts of the film.
I'm glad it ended
Yeah.
up being relevant. Before the movie, I actually gave it to Haley as a gift.
Oh my
It ended up,
gosh.
it ended up
Yeah.
being more important than I figured. So that was nice.
Yeah, it's really cute.
All right. Yeah, that was a good scene. It was a very good sequence.
I went to the movie thinking that the Queen was going to be like Bianca as Finn is Emmett, but I don't think the Queen is anyone. I think she's just the
she's not.
Yeah.
love between siblings.
She's a bridge
Nuts.
between worlds, to use that metaphor.
Mhm.
Which is why they went with the wedding.
So
It's not like
Yeah.
freaking two siblings marrying each other.
yeah,
It's boys' toys and girls'
Mhm.
toys, or siblings coming together to play and be creative however they want to be.
Ha!
Yeah.
However they wanna be.
Exactly.
definitely wanna be.
Character
Um,
focus. One of the main critiques I see getting thrown around the movie is that Unikitty, Benny, and Metalbeard were wasted and they didn't really do anything. My counterpoint to that is, did they really do anything in the first movie either?
Well,
Fair.
I feel like-
Metalbeard
They had a
his
moment.
ship.
They each had their
Unikitty's
moment.
planet got destroyed.
I feel like Benny has had more screen time in this one than the first one.
No.
I definitely feel like he has
They-
at least more dialogue.
I barely heard him
this-
talk.
This is a fair critique, I believe. Because in the first time, they were an entire supporting cast that had an effect on the progression of the film. Like, they all did something that contributed. Metalbeard and his initial plan, and then having the ship and rescuing the heroes and being along for that. You know, having that prior experience. Benny Sure, he's mostly comic relief. However, at the end, that pays off, with a spaceship.
Yeah.
Unikitty is the big one. Because, gotta promote that show. There are actually some Unikitty TV show characters in the background of the film.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
And her glitter planet scene.
The glitter planet, yes, but I'm talking more so like in the first film, like she had Cloud Cuckoo Land, and she actually had a fairly substantial impact. In the first film, they're actual supporting characters. In this film, their role is significantly reduced to focus on.
Yeah, they're more like MacGuffins or whatever.
I'm
Like, gotta save the friends,
I mean, her freaking planet got destroyed. What more do you want from Unikitty? At least she's a participant in things. At least she's doing the scouting, and she's a part of the crew.
Yeah,
And she's useful.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. In the first movie, they're all a supporting cast, but in the second one, their role is significantly diminished.
I mean, Unikitty was pretty awesome in the beginning of the movie when she was like the giant kitty beast.
Yeah,
She had a couple of great lines.
I'm willing
It
to
was
fight.
perfectly fine without raisins.
I'm willing to actually fight this point, but I would need to see the movie multiple times. I think Unikitty and Binny are equal. I think the only one with reduced relevance is Metalbeer.
Okay, I actually.
Unikitty's planet was a zone. Unikitty herself did not do much.
So
She was there to make jokes and have that.
I want to touch on that raisins bit in just a moment, but I like this comment from Svetlin in the YouTube live chat. They are side characters, so they weren't really supposed to have much of an effect on the movie. However, it would have benefited the movie and the toy line if the side characters were more prominent in the story. I think that is an excellent distinction. In the first film, they were supporting characters. In this one, they are side characters.
Which I agree
Yeah.
with. I think my only distinction is I don't think that's a problem. Because I think that
They could have
if
been too
you-
much.
if you make a plot for your movie that you really want to tell, but it doesn't incorporate certain characters to fill your arbitrary set relevance quota, I actually respect their decision to not contort the plot around characters that it doesn't make sense for. Like, Metalbeard had no point in this story that they were trying to tell. And I don't think it's a flaw that they didn't write him a pointless, arbitrary subplot to give adequate screen time that would have taken away from the actual moral they were trying to tell. And if they just leave them behind, like Prentice is suggesting, if they're not in the movie, then that has no continuity between the films. You're just ditching the characters in favor of a vacuous void of nothingness that was their dynamics. I feel like the dynamics were preserved, even if the plot relevance wasn't.
Mhm.
So, while I agree it definitely happened with Metalbeard, I don't really think it's a problem. Metalbeard was never a particularly gripping character. He was the, he was the battle-scarred, tough guy, funny pirate man, and he did that exact same stuff here, just a little bit less of it.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know.
I've gotten way too much if they expanded on those characters on top of introducing all of the characters in this new world. If they had something to do in there that's individual instead of them all doing kind of around the same thing, so that when the whole wild style discovery that they weren't brainwashed, it was more smooth than just maybe like just the Justice League.
If anything, I feel like they maybe spent a little too much time on the characters, and some of the new ones suffered, like Sweet Mayhem. She didn't really have much to do.
That's
the vampire, ice cream.
Yeah.
I don't care about the ice cream. I don't care about the vampire. The banana was
Ice cream was
perfect.
great. Ice cream was perfect.
Ice cream, yeah, ice cream is excellent.
Thing.
Banana was excellent. But before I get to the Sweet Mayhem point, how dare you, movie? How dare you speak out against raisins? Oatmeal raisin cookies are the bomb.
That's what I thought. I was leaving.
Raisins are excellent.
Raisin cookies.
Oatmeal raisin cookies are delicious. They are the bomb.
Amazing raisin.
You got something to say, Purple?
Amazing raisin.
Huh? Speak up, Purple. Go ahead. Speak your piece. There'll only be war soon after.
You said oatmeal raisin, not Oreo raisin, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Oreo.
Okay.
Oreo raisin.
Oreo raisin.
Do tell Haley what it.
Oreo raisin. It sounds like something LJ would eat.
I don't eat Oreos.
Well, you probably eat an Oreo raisin cookie if you wanted to.
I don't think
maybe.
you can eat Oreos.
Yeah, no, they're there are alternatives for it. So
I went to the fabled Trader Joe's for the first time.
Ah,
Because
yeah,
random
Trader
tangent.
Joe's.
Yay!
It was not impressive in the least.
Oh, what? Dude, that
I
store is
ended up-
awesome.
May not be
Not
very
only do
cool.
they have great products, but all the employees wear Hawaiian shirts.
They do.
They- Not there.
You must have gone to a really bad Trader Joe's.
The only-
I live.
I'll put it this way: I looked through almost every aisle and the aisle with free Oreos that I could get anywhere.
Oh my gosh,
This
dude,
place.
you went to a really bad one then, because I live out in the middle of absolutely nowhere, and even the Trader Joe's I have been to in the middle of nowhere has the employees wearing Hawaiian shirts.
Fair. Well,
Mine's in a shopping center, a big shopping
Yeah.
center, so it's a little smaller than
Oh
usual.
yeah, you got a really
So.
bad one then. Gosh dang it.
wow.
Gosh
Yeah.
dang it.
My
The one-
bad. My bad. I'm
It
sorry.
sounds so
You
resigned.
wasted
Yeah.
his first time in a Trader Joe's.
Hey, she didn't waste anything. I wasted it. I was insistent on going there.
Fair
I
enough.
could have gone to Publix instead. It was like right next door. I
Fair
would have been
enough.
infinitely happier.
Gosh darn it. Fudge. Okay,
Anyway.
Alright,
fine, fine.
back to
Anyway,
Lego movie.
Sweet,
Sweet
Mayhem, is hang on, I gotta remember the name of the person.
She flipped.
Hang on.
Sweet Mayhem was good. I feel like her role was fine, and she had a lot of good comedy moments. I just feel like she doesn't really have a character.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my
Here we
only
go.
problem.
Okay. Sweet Mayhem is the Captain Phasma of this movie.
Agreed. Except she actually did have some
Yeah.
heart.
So back when the
I liked how
set-
she had to be. Oh, go ahead.
back when the set photos were being released,
Huh.
we saw her briefly with her helmet off, and a bunch of people are saying, "Hey, just to let you know." Like I even remember during the brick feed where we were going over all the sets with Nick and Neek from Lego. I think one of them said, "Hey, just be aware, on the back of this box or this set, there's a bit of a spoiler." And it's the set of her with her helmet off, and she's got like the color, the pink skin, I think, and then the blue hair. Why was this a spoiler again? Why was this a surprise?
Face reveal.
Face reveal.
But why?
If someone had put your
She was a
freaking
girly girl.
recap review reveal on the back of a Lego box,
No.
you would have considered it a
It's like-
spoiler.
What got spoiled? That she has a face?
That she was probably a
Technically,
girly
yes.
girl.
What her face was. For a
She doesn't look
masked,
super
for a
tough.
masked entity, the reveal of their face is a spoiler.
Yeah, but when you reveal someone's face, there's a surprise to it. What are we supposed to be surprised about?
Well,
She's a
what's the
girly
surprise to
girl.
Her face.
Okay, I actually buy that.
Listen.
I actually like Haley. That might be a good point.
Because she has pigtails, she has pink and blue eyeshadow, and she immediately does the little like cute eye thing that the star does
Yeah.
instead of being tough like what she had presented herself to be.
It
And
was
just
in
like Wild
service
Style,
of a
yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
The face reveal. It's like I don't know. It's like seeing the first Spinjitzu master's face in Ninjago. I know it's a bit of a difference. He's a fabled character, but the point is the same. It's not that he has a face that's the spoiler. It's what the face is, because it has relevance for a character who hasn't shown their face. That's literally all it is. With Sweet Mayhem, it was in service of a moment. But it was also just because she was masked in all the advertising. Ergo, the one piece of advertising that she was not masked in does constitute a spoiler.
Yeah.
I guess.
Her hair was so pretty in the movie. Like so sparkly and stuff.
Mhm.
Well, I believe it's.
I didn't realize
it's-
her voice was that high.
I think it is
Yeah, dude.
like the set version. The set hairpiece is iridescent, I believe.
Is it really?
Cool.
Let me get a picture.
Whoa.
Hang on. Let me get a picture of that.
I would hope.
It was a $9 Oh.
It is. Oh, look how adorable.
I need this.
Okay, get it.
Yeah, it is.
They didn't really mention that she looked different.
There
At
it is.
once, like Wild Style was like, "What the heck is that?" But that's the only time that was ever mentioned in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, she was good. She had funny moments. And the voice filter was great, and she had the epic 515 song,
No, don't do this.
which I find beyond hilarious that that's actually a track in the soundtrack, like by itself, which is why I've
Mhm.
started listening to it on loop.
Oh
my
my-
goal is 5 hours
Oh
long.
no.
I'm currently at hour 3
Oh no.
Why?
because I memed it with catchy song. I was trying to see if I could get it stuck in my head,
Did you?
and yes, with catchy song it worked. Just when it's like
550.
515.
Okay. So okay. Mr. Hinkle draws
LJ?
in the
Oh.
I'll
You okay,
mention this-
LJ?
in the live YouTube chat. Mr. Hinkle draws said maybe it was the fact that her blue and pink eyeshadow matched Lucy's revealed hair colors.
Oh dang!
And
Oh, dang.
I did
Color
not.
coding.
I didn't notice that.
That's
cool.
epic.
That's a really slick.
AT says that's what I dang said. You guessed it.
Okay, AT and Mr. Hinkle draws the
Possible.
tag team duo. I'm sorry, AT. I'm
Mr.
trying to pay
AT
attention to
draws.
both chats. I'm sorry. AT,
Yeah,
you're fantastic. Please speak. Be on.
yeah. AT, unmute right now. I dare you.
Okay.
What I really like about Sweet Mayhem's character is that she thought that she had to be tough in order to other.
Mm-hmm.
She thought that that's what she had to do in order to have them understand. They could have been nice. That's the way. What?
Not you.
Hey Jesus, I'm at work. You dang and rompus. That's a reference.
Are you sure?
Are you sure about that? But yeah, it was
You sure
good.
about that?
I think it was excellent. It was a good way to because Sweet Mayhem was trying to approach it from the perspective of Bianca.
Yeah.
Which we need to discuss Bianca
Yeah.
later on. Mainly Haley needs to.
15 minutes. I only have 15 minutes, and there's like 2 things I want to talk
And
about.
after this, you'll have less than $15. No, but I
Less
like
than
that.
25.
I like how they approached it. I like how the character said that at the end. However, I just feel like it was kind of hastily explained and put together. Like I
mean,
did
it
not.
was.
I didn't feel that her character was well developed.
Because she
throughout
didn't
the
have a
film.
character. She didn't
Yeah,
have a character at all. She was set up to be a villain,
Wow.
just like Captain Phasma. Her character was
Henchman.
she was
Bianca,
she was
Who
trying
also
to
doesn't have a character?
yeah, exactly. Her character was she wants to play together,
Yes.
but she decided the best way to do that was to have a threatening voice filter for communication's sake.
To be like her brother, which wasn't a good
Yeah.
idea. Because her brother didn't really
So-
want to do that either, so.
She was a vessel for the moral. She was not a character, which
Yeah.
is fine. Doesn't mean she doesn't have good moments. It just means like when I think about the movie, like she doesn't stand out as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is something else that I felt was a little undercapitalized on. In lieu of that, kind of referencing Lucy with her hair color, I feel that the opportunity to delve deeper into that was not capitalized upon or missed, because her hair gets washed, and we find out that the black of it is just Sharpie, and so it gets cleaned, and her hair is actually bright blue and pink. And apparently she has a past as this, girly girl who does all these different girly things. And it's completely opposite to her character in either of the films. So we can, she edged herself up intentionally. And I feel like there's more of an opportunity to delve deeper into that and kind of explore that backstory. Like maybe even in a flashback. But
I don't.
I don't know.
I would have enjoyed to see more. I just don't feel like there was any more. It wasn't meant to be about Wildstyle's tragic past. It was simply to show like the reverse allegory for what happened to Emmett and how like she wanted him to change, but that was only because she herself changed. When she saw him change, she didn't like it, and when he saw her change, she didn't like it. I mean, he didn't like it. It was just a role reversal kind of thing, with both people needing to realize that hey, change isn't always by and large for the better. And it was also in service of the end gag. Like, would I have liked them to spend more time on it? Yes, if there was a story to tell there. But I don't really think there was, besides maybe showing her flashback in a song singing "Everything is Awesome." But then they would have had to sacrifice the end gag. So,
Fair enough.
I don't know.
I won't contest that.
It is
too
weird that they
too
made a
much.
whole minifigure for it when it didn't show up in the movie.
Yeah.
That is weird. But
But thankfully, I kid you not, I'm going to have to spend some dollar bills on some collectible minifigure packs from this film, just to see if I can try my luck and get Melanak.
shut up. Haley, what are your thoughts? So you wanted to talk about the movie?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you want to talk about
Very impressive.
the live action.
You have 11 minutes. Get yours out of the way first.
Yeah,
Then
if
we
you
can
have,
meme you for the last 3.
Okay.
if anything.
Well, the
else,
thing I really want to talk about, because the live action part fascinated me from the first movie, and so when they built on the fact that to move around in the real world without a problem kind of bothered me, but a very fantastical explanation for it that they aren't going to expand on. But I think I don't know, because in the first movie, Emmett touched the piece of resistance, and that's when he got his vision for the first time. Through the hole and went into the real world. Move. And then after that, he starts having dreams of the real world, blah, 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 blah. X was thrown out, or old Emmett was thrown out. He was able to move because he was left in the real world for a very long time. And so the theory is the longer a Lego is the imagination and is left by themselves, the more accustomed they are to reality and the more they can influence it. They're able to move around and stuff. So it's like Toy Story, but I guess they become real. Because Lucy was thrown out for a second, and then she had an influence on Finn to kind of beckon him over to the storage bin.
Borf,
It's a weird correlation.
borf.
Freaking Joey.
Anyways, that's high. He agrees.
I'm glad.
My
Yeah.
my answer to that is it's a cool theory, but as I was telling you last night, I don't think there's. I mean, I respect your attitude to fill those holes in headcanon and deep lore. I myself can't find the motivation to, because I know it's not something that the filmmakers have in mind. In the interviews, their answers are, it happens because it's a kid's imagination. And that's the amount of thought that they've put into it. They intentionally make it vague and open-ended. But what you're saying makes perfectly plausible sense. That could totally be a thing. It could totally happen that way.
Who Finn is. Is Finn Rex? Is Finn Emmett? Is he ever Rex? You kind of have to
Rex
look at
is the other half of Finn's self.
Yeah.
It's a tug of war
the
between
moment that destroy the cake, that was actually Emmett who did that.
Yes.
So does he ever become Rex? Is he ever Rex?
There's a part of him that's Rex.
The Rex that influences Emmett to become like Rex. So he's
I hate time travel.
See, I really wish that there wasn't time travel and Rex was just a figment of Emmett's imagination that we don't realize is only imagination until the very end. And everything we've got.
What they did is
Yeah.
more creative.
But it would have been cool. It would have been Finn's imagination's imagination. Which I guess is not as bad as time travel, but I mean it is worse than time travel. What am I saying?
There isn't a way you can plug that hole and try to figure out who Rex is or whatever. It's just like either you explain it by time travel like they did, or you explain it by imagination like the writers did, or you say that it's just, Finn's consciousness fighting a battle against himself because part of him wants to grow up because he feels like he's pressured to, and the pressure being Rex's life circumstance, or the part of him that doesn't want to and wants to stay with his friends like Emmett. That's all it is.
Rex, Rad, Emmett, Extreme, or whatever it was.
Best friends.
Best friends.
Rex is such a
Master
great
Breaker.
character.
Master Breaker,
awesome.
that was cool. Those moments were very cool and very well animated.
Oh yeah. Very true.
You could say it was a when his fist got large and he punched stuff. It was gigantic. One might even say giga. So it was a and then he kind of almost turned in some instances. So he kind of spiraled, kind of like a drill. So
There's a joke here that only some of us are gonna get. Elgin. Going on too long. Haley, what else? Yeah, 6 minutes.
beep 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 beep.
Not helping.
Please tell me someone else has seen 24. It's such a good show.
Nope.
24 what?
Okay.
It's not as funny as 25. though.
Nah. 24. I've never seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Like a movie like
Give your final thoughts in the time that you have.
She's trying to think. I think she's blanking.
I've
the
done
biggest-
this.
Blanking on thoughts.
I know. The biggest thing that I kind of have beef with the movie with is that the thing with Rex so central. The first movie, the plot and everything that really happens is only because they are Lego.
Yep.
Felt like they went beyond that, and the moral and things that happened, it could have been Rex could have been a character, could have been the protagonist from the future, back in time, yada yada yada. That doesn't have to be Lego. And I don't really know how they could get away with that, but it was just not as interesting as the first movie, and that's
What
why
do
I
you
think
mean
the first
that
movie
doesn't have to be Lego?
the point where it's a fact that they are Lego. I guess
You're
that's
cutting
what I'm
out a
trying-
little bit. Probably
Yeah.
because you're on the web version of Discord. Just like what used to happen with Fluff.
But the fact that be Lego to do the same plot. The
I don't
first
get it.
movie, it was Lego. Had to be Lego.
The first
This
movie
one-
also had to be Lego.
Movie has to be Lego. The second movie, there are parts of it where it doesn't have to be Lego to get a certain point across.
Like what?
But you're watching the Lego movie.
Sure, they're Lego, but the whole thing with Emmett growing up, or Finn growing up, and then Rex's whole thing, that he's from the future.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I'm not following. I feel that if they made scenes that weren't Lego and they tipped the live action to Lego balance too much in the opposite direction, there would be backlash. I already have seen there being backlash because there are more live action scenes in this movie. It's spread out than there were in the first movie, which kept them to one specific section.
I'm trying to see.
I feel that if you mess with that balance too much, then you destroy the foundation of the movie.
That's not what I'm trying to say. What am I trying to say?
I don't know.
Ah.
This might have to wait till next time.
My brain is like moving at 2 points a second.
That's all right.
It's just, I mean, I don't know. The moral hits hard because it's about building things and it's about being, special and building unique things. Sibling movie, and sure they're playing with Lego, but it doesn't have to be Lego. It's kind of out of left field. You take Lego out of it and it'd be the same movie. The first movie you can't. You can't.
So essentially what you're saying is the first movie, because it was about creativity and building, it's inherently Lego. In this movie, it's about siblings playing with each other. Ergo, it could be Transformers or Pokemon. Is that what
Can you
what
take
saying?
Lego? Can you take Lego out of the movie and it be the same movie? One rather than the first one.
I mean,
You,
my answer would be no, because it's the Lego movie. But again, I know you're talking strictly in terms of the moral.
Mm-hmm.
I would say.
Which, I mean,
I would still say yes. It is inherently Lego, because it is still about creation. It is still about creativity. It's just about how that is mirrored through different perspectives and different people. That's kind of the whole point of the Queen. You know,
Yeah.
it's whatever. You can't really have that character and that symbolism with that sibling dynamic and that real life element in freaking, I don't know, Yu-Gi-Oh cards. You can't
Yeah.
really
The
do
queen
that.
shall
It has to be
return to
Lego.
the card she originally was.
It has to be Lego. I get what you're thinking. I think we could have a more detailed discussion about that on like a brick feed sometime.
I wish that when the queen was split up, or when they broke apart, went to Finn and half of her went to Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
Come back together. They had to build that together because there's not really a moment where are together building until the very end. I can't. Yeah. So I don't know. Off.
All right.
There's not a punch you in the gut moment like the first movie did, with like a great speech, yada yada yada. So
I'll disagree,
Eh.
but to each their own.
watch the movie. So
This time it was through the characters. It was not through the people necessarily. Which I could see being a good thing or a bad thing. But personally, I don't think it's a bad thing just because freaking kids can't act. Like Bianca had like one line. The mom, famous actress though she might be, couldn't really act in that manner. Her like whatever her line just weren't good. And Finn, I don't really know. He had a few good moments. And like Will Ferrell was gone from the movie pretty much. So I don't really need to see the human characters delivering the emotional monologues. I feel like the Lego people hit the same notes in the same spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Just it worked better in that vibe.
I mean, yeah, Emmett did the speech in the first movie, but it's Finn doing it. With this one, I think, like Mayhem saying, "We just wanted to play with you." You can hear that it's definitely Bianca saying that same impact because you don't really know it's her. You ever really know it's her? So that's my little 2 pence. Other than that, I mean, I'm so excited to see this movie again. I want to bring my
I thought you were
brother.
gonna say I'm so excited to see the next one. I was like, bad news.
I'm gonna bring my brother because my brother was the one who spoiled me on the first movie, so he's gonna
Wow!
Wait, what did he spoil?
action.
The live action twist.
Oh my god.
There's a live action moment, and it was all the imagination of a kid. So that's why when the relics popped up, I was like, "Huh,
just
Fun
the
relics.
worst.
just the relics, just the phone." It was a little disappointing, but all right.
Yeah, it was. Either way, yeah. Haley, do you need to get going? Because we can still continue on. Okay.
I'll continue on.
You
Good
go ahead
work.
and leave midway through. Thank you for your contributions.
Yeah, thanks for
we'll-
bailing after being late.
Thanks for bailing and being late and lagging out. Because you're in Discord web.
Well, I'm glad
Thanks for using up a lot of the attention so I didn't have to talk as much.
y'all are so nice. I'm so glad. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Haley.
Bye!
All right.
Ugh, finally.
So,
No kidding.
wow. No, I mean, like, I wanted her to be here so I could, like, talk about it and then we can disagree on the moral, but we'll do that another time. Basically, I like this moral better, not because I can relate to it more, because I don't have siblings, so I can't. I'm actually the only one here who can't relate to it whatsoever, which I find very ironic. Life is great at times like this.
Yeah, you can't relate to it at all. I relate to it less. Purple's probably the only one that can relate to it the most because it for her it's a brother-sister dynamic. I don't have sisters outside of maybe my younger brother, but we're not gonna tell him that.
Yeah, no, the whole like sibling dynamic. I was very much a Finn when I was like his age, and I have 2 younger brothers, so it's like got to go through this twice. Yeah,
That's great.
but
No, it's been like the first moral in the first movie was very well executed. When I say I like this one better, it's not to knock on the first movie. It was executed basically perfectly. as Haley demonstrated in her video, even down to a filmmaking level with the way the shots were flipped and the lighting on them mirroring what was in the Lego world, all that completely, not even speaking about the actual heart and the dialogue and the introspection and all that. It was great. So the first movie was awesome. It's just that with this one, the thing that I liked about it was larger in scope, and it also wasn't as easy to resolve. Like them putting the live action tension before the climax or at the climax of the movie rather than the resolution of the movie made it feel more prolonged in a good way. It basically lengthened the amount of time it took to get it resolved whilst also feeling more satisfying when it ended up being resolved versus the first movie. Emmett just strolls into President Business's evil lair and has like, I don't know, a minute long talk with just spewing platitudes at him that eventually gets him to see the error of his way. Platitudes. Your platitudes bore me, boy. So it was easier. And it felt very much like cliche movie moment, I guess. And cliches are cliches because they work. So again, I'm not trying to bash on it. But this movie, while also kind of a cliche in its own right, it dealt with a bit more nuanced stuff. And you could tell it was because the movie it's been 5 years since the first one, and they were actually trying to age it up slightly because the kids who watched the first one have also grown up. That's the whole point of the "Everything's Not Awesome" song. I haven't gone back to look at the lyrics, but I remember like a few lines about like everything's not awesome and that's okay. Sometimes it's unrealistic expectations for everything to be awesome. And it's like in the moment that was funny, but like it's also just a good moral to have. It's life. It's very real. And it's it's difficult to quantify, but yeah, it was basically the skeptic realism song. As Katie puts in the chat, and for that I am glad. Okay, sweet, you found the lyrics. Yeah. It's like everything's not awesome, but that doesn't mean it's hopeless and bleak. Everything's not awesome, but in my heart I believe we can make things better if we stick together. We'll build it together. Awesomeness was a pipe dream. It's pretty dark. It's also not like dark and edgy. It's like dark with a hopeful undertone. Says things can't be awesome all the time. It's not realistic expectation, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't try to make everything awesome in a less idealistic kind of way. We should maybe aim for not bad, because not bad, well, that would be real great. It's freaking funny. The lyrics are great, but they're also like.
How did you make me hate the song just by reading it out like that? Like now that I know this, I never want to hear it again.
Well, listen, it's good for me because
that's why I hate it now.
But it's also just good. It's just well done, and it makes the first movie like I know everything is awesome. It's supposed to be an inspirational message. It was supposed to be like a brainwashing song, so maybe it's a bit of an unfair critique. But everything is awesome has become synonymous with the OG Lego movie. No one's going to be humming everything's not awesome in exactly the same way, but when you actually compare the two uses in the movie, like the catchy song is the everything is awesome equivalent. This song is an extension of the moral, and that's what makes it good. That's what makes me like it more. It's just a tad bit more nuanced. But that's just me. It's not anything crazy or whatever. I just think it was well done. And overall, the movie left a good vibe. Even the ending, which I personally feel is very indicative of the fact that we're not getting a third one. It was basically like the happiest of endings. There was no hook for a sequel. You know what I mean? Everything pretty much got resolved, but it was awesome. And it was great. And everybody was happy. And it was a super feel-good ending. And that epic song played about the credits. And it was just generally very, very well executed. I walked away from that movie happy.
Yeah. I can't listen to anything by Lonely Island anymore after watching all of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, because the main character in that, Jake Peralta, is also like one of the singers in Lonely Island. So whenever like I hear him sing, it's like, oh my god, that's Jake!
That's awesome.
Jake
Sure.
from State Farm?
Oh my god.
And the ending song to this movie was almost like a play on Everything Is Awesome too, not just the credits bit, but like the chorus, which I freaking loved. I just kept cracking up during the credits. Unbelievable, super cool, outrageous, and amazing. Phenomenal, fantastic, so incredible. Woohoo! The music just fired on all cylinders.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't pay too close attention to the ending credits song because I was waiting for after it so I could take a picture of Nick and Neek's names in the credits, which I did. That's my favorite part about the credits, unironically, like legitimately.
Yeah, man. I'm pretty much done. Just the humor was great. I laughed at pretty much everything. The characters had good focus and development. The animation was improved. The music was great. I'm not one for giving arbitrary number rankings, and I acknowledge there's a bunch of flaws. It certainly isn't as elegant as the first movie.
So here's an
There's a lot
arbitrary
more
number
play.
rating.
I'm not giving one. Saying like
Do it.
it's not. It's a little bit more cluttered.
Do it.
There's a lot more to
Do it.
do. It's not as cohesive as the first movie, so I don't really feel qualified to rank them in order. I just know that
Number.
as it sticks out in my mind, it's currently like my second favorite.
Rating number.
Yeah.
Rating number.
I think
rating.
in terms of Lego movies, it goes for me. It's like Lego Movie 1, Lego Movie 2, Batman. And that's it.
That's generally where I'm
those are the only three that rank. Yeah.
Yep.
Ninjago gets so much flack, but like every time I
What
watch
does?
it, I still laugh at stuff.
What, the show?
Yes. Yeah.
That's
I'm done. Say your pieces.
ha pieces because it's a Lego movie.
Bingo.
Bongo.
Okay, Purple. Do you want to go first?
What was the question?
Final thoughts, basically.
Final thoughts. The beginning, like I said earlier, it felt like they were sort of trying too hard to reference to like other stuff, so it kind of just felt like they reused a lot of jokes from the first movie. But once like people got kidnapped and stuff, and they actually went to space, it was like, oh, this is really fun. And overall, I really like this movie, and I want to see it again. So, also, I really like Mayhem. She has a cute design. I want to draw her at some point.
Do it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I like the movie. I thought it was a fun film. I do give arbitrary number rankings, so I'll say the movie is, for me, a solid 7 out of 10. And if I had to give it any more, it's 7.5 out of 10. I think that it is... For films, for me, Lego Movie and Lego Batman movie are tied at number 1. And then it's the Lego Movie 2, and then very, very, very far down, it's a lot of spaces. And then after those spaces, it's the Lego Ninjago movie. I'm just kidding. I actually like the Lego Ninjago movie. But it's a good film. It's enjoyable. The moral was way better than I had feared it would be. It was handled very well. It's a fun time, even if I personally don't remember a lot of the jokes, for whatever reason. But it's encouraging me to go back and watch it again. So I think it's got a little something for everyone, even if you don't relate to the moral of the actual film. So I highly recommend you go see it.
All right.
I hope you're typing out like this massive essay to put on the message boards, Purple. It
And
sounds,
if I said no,
if then I would hope that whatever you're writing is on a typewriter, because that'd be the only thing that would explain all that tic tac clackety whack.
I'm too tired to come up with a joke to like respond with.
The reason I don't give arbitrary number ranking because nothing is perfect, but at the same time, I judge things by like the flaw to success ratio, if that makes any sense for me. So when I'm looking at this movie, I just listed out like a bunch of successes, and when I look at the flaws, there aren't really that many for me. Does that mean this movie's perfect? No. But like, if I can't really think of any I didn't like, besides like, okay, sweet time travel on principle, but it was well handled. Metalbeard not having much of a character, but I get why they did it, and I don't think it's a bad thing. Sweet Mayhem not having much of a character, that's a flaw. But she was like a Bianca surrogate character. Catchy music, good animation. It's like, what were? I'm sure there are flaws. I just can't like think of them off the top of my head. That doesn't mean they're perfect. Kazabar says that the Bionicle movie is really better than Jaga.
Yes.
No.
Yes, absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
Old Jedi had to talk about this a while ago.
At the very bare minimum, Legends of Metro Nui is better than Lego Ninjago movie.
No.
Yes.
Bionicle movies may be great. They're a product of their time.
Legends of Metro Nui is a consistent film that doesn't jerk you around with a bunch of prolonged jokes. It's a good movie. Lego Ninjago movie is a average movie.
I mean, Lego Ninjago automatically gets like a pass because it's made in the modern era.
Oh, give me a break.
So it doesn't look like a piece of trash, and it also has good voice acting.
Sorry, everyone. Sorry if you like those old, revered classic films. They're all garbage because they're not modern day.
They're ugly.
Sorry to say. If
The
it's a
freaking
movie that was
Miramax-
released before the 2010s, you should probably just take it home with you and burn it.
The Miramax Bonkles look like mud.
What's that one movie everyone holds in high regard? It's a
Nightmare
really
Before Christmas?
no, but that should get a modern movie. Honestly, now that you mention it, that's a good point.
Oh dear
Purple.
Lord.
Maybe you know what? Maybe a live action film because clearly modern filmmaking is where
Hold
it's
up.
at.
I have to post pictures for this. Give me a second. I'm
We'll see
gonna
if I
illustrate
post
a
those
point here.
pictures. Oh come on. give me a point.
Even if you don't, the patrons can see them.
Okay.
Just
What is that really old revered film that everyone constantly talks about? It's black and white. It's Casablanca? Potentially? No.
I genuinely have no idea.
Oh gosh. I'm completely drawing a blank on it. I've never seen the movie, but I'm drawing a blank. Bottom line, if the movie isn't Citizen Kane. Thank you, Prentice. Thank you. Yeah, that movie is trash. I don't know when it was released, but it is absolute garbage. Okay, everyone?
1941.
1941. Yeah, no. Way too early. Unless it was
It's
released on
100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's generally considered one of the best films ever made.
like these movies aren't. I over exaggerate how bad they are.
Yeah, I know.
They have a detail, but like they're supposed to be. They're inherently flawed.
Oh yeah?
They're supposed to be movies about toys to promote the toys. And when they don't look like the toys, they fail in their intended purpose.
Okay.
I will maintain this point, and this is a sneak preview into our Legend Reborn coverage. Legend Reborn is the only movie that got it right. At
See,
least in that aspect.
This is an entirely subjective point of view.
I don't know. I think that they're meant to be marketing. And if they fail at that, then they're just
Also,
movies.
guys, I want to clarify. I don't actually think Citizen Kane is bad. I've never seen the movie. I'm just poking fun at Meso, who earlier said, the Lego Ninjago movie gets a pass because it was made in the modern age,
Yeah.
which is a very dumb thing to say.
Yeah, I mean,
It is
in the
not
context
applicable.
in the context of toy advertising, I think there is merit. But we could do a whole podcast on this.
We could. I also don't.
The fact
really
of the matter
buy
is,
that.
these movies are prolonged commercials. They all are.
Sure.
They're made to sell a product.
Okay.
And when they don't do that, or they don't do that as well, then they have to stand on their own merits, aka writing, characterization, story, and scene composition. None of which the Bionicle movies excel at. The plot is very simplistic. The voice acting is subpar at best. Stilted line delivery is the majority of lines.
Oh
There's a
my
few
gosh.
There's a few generally good voice actors. The Legend Reborn had way better voice
no.
actors than the Miramax movies. The plot was the most generic kids' fare you could get. Oh, the Elder was the villain all along.
Oh, you have to look at things from a different point of view. Wow! That's, oh my gosh! Oh, mind blowing!
The Lego
Oh,
Ninjago
geez, so
movie
original.
dealt with way more nuanced
Oh man!
theming,
Hey,
and
Lego
it did
Ninjago
have some
movie.
moral
We need to do
ambiguity.
something really interesting and unique. Let's take the moral from the Lego Movie 1 and make it ninjas versus fish
Listen.
people. You're hired. In
Listen,
fact,
LJ.
you're promoted.
LJ, no matter how bad the Lego Ninjago movie, interesting character exploration of your true nature, nature versus nurture, family dynamics, responsibility, father son, living in the shadow of a dad who casts a shadow, as I just said, will always be better than good guys beat bad guys.
Man,
Which is all
either
the
you need to
Bionicle
watch,
movies were.
either you need to watch the Legend, or not the Legend Reborn, Legends of Machinui again, or you're just the ultimate contrarian. That's just,
That's what they are. That's what they are.
oh my
The Toa,
gosh.
the Toa need to fight the bad guy, but they get knocked down.
Lloyd needs
so
to
they get
fight the
saved.
bad guy who's his
So they get
father.
saved by Deus Ex Mask of Time. And
You've got to
Toa
be
Seal.
kidding me. The ninja gets saved by Deus Ex Ultimate Weapon, which just so happens to have been in them all along. Come on, we can play this game all day.
It is a constant back and forth. Like Ninjago movie ain't a shining example of filmmaking, but it's on a different plane than the Bionicle movies. The Bionicle movies
guess?
earned their direct DVD nature.
Holy crap.
Um,
I want everyone to just tear you to shreds. I want your speech, your second place in the top 10 2016 moments, to be poisoned because of what you're saying
I've
right
always
now.
hated the Bionicle movies, dude. Read the Bionicle books. That's where the
Are you
character
telling me
exposition
to read the
comes in.
Bionicle books?
Yes, reread them.
Me.
Like that's when I think of Bionicle, that's what I think of, not the "cause that's what friends do" movie
Yes,
trilogy.
great. I'm not arguing
that's never-
for freaking Web of Shadows. I don't like Web of Shadows. I'm talking about Legends of Machinui, the best of the Bionicle films. It has a solid
Legends of
story. You know what?
Machinui-
You know what?
Was that where he said, "I'm a terrible leader"?
Yeah, no, that's Web of Shadows. You're taking quotes from Web of Shadows.
How can we forget such great villains as generic Spider Guy #1 and Dumb Brute #324?
Hope you guys are enjoying our review of the
But I'm
Lego
gonna,
Movie
but I'm
2.
gonna remember Justin Theroux's Garmadon.
Oh, are you
Yeah!
now? Are you really?
Yes.
Okay, great. Give me a Garmadon quote from the Lego Ninjago movie.
What's my name? Garmadon.
Wow! Holy
Garmadon.
crud! Heck yeah! That's
can't
character
hear
defining.
you.
What's my name? Garmadon really appealing to the
I'm gonna teach you the ways of the ninja.
the Alzheimer's
The chainsaw
community, the short-term
dance of
memory
doom.
folks, Purple's people. What's my name? I don't remember anything.
Oh my gosh.
Wow! Oh yeah! Heck yeah!
How could I ruin your life? I wasn't even there.
Oh my gosh. Holy crud.
Okay, we're done.
We need to
We're
make
done.
this it's on, maybe we'll make it an episode of my show or something. I don't know. Bottom line is
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
not this weekend. Yeah.
All right.
All
So
right.
thank you all very much for listening to our review of the Lego Movie 2. And also this little ending bit here. It was fun. Overall, it's a good movie. How good it is depends on you, but I think we can all agree it's pretty good. And it's a bit sad that it's gonna spell the end for the LCU.
I love how
honestly-
we started this out saying all the fear mongering was wrong, and now we're ending it with more fear mongering.
No, listen, they could not do it. They couldn't keep it going. It's just, it seems pretty dismal at the moment. You gotta wonder what the studio allowance is for subsequent failures. I mean, DC went on for a while with nothing but failures, so maybe it'll keep going. I don't know. We'll see. I want to see Billion Brick Race because I actually like racing movies and racing cartoons and shows, and I think that could be immensely entertaining in the Lego
know?
style.
Do we know it's a racing film?
We do.
Oh, okay.
Literally, you know what? I'm gonna spare you this one.
What? There are different kinds of races, Meso.
The Billion Brick Race. Do we know it's a racing film?
Have you never seen a triathlon? Do you know what Olympic races are? They're not in cars, Meso. They have legs. Do you know how to use your legs? You've been sitting so long you forgot they're there. They've atrophied off. You don't have legs. You just walk around on little stumps like, doo, 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 doo. Hey guys, I'm Meso. I'm an elf.
Said it's inspired by the Cannonball Run.
Wonderful. Fantastic. Great. It's a simple freaking clarification. There are different kinds.
Race movie?
Holy crud. It's like you take Goodwill and you put it through a meat grinder.
In February 2019, the film's title was quietly changed to The Lego Brick Race. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. There's no citation for that, though. But I mean, I would buy it. It makes sense. They wouldn't release a Lego movie that didn't have Lego in the title. So, yeah.
Gosh.
Anyway,
dang.
thank y'all for watching.
You're such a
Jake.
jerk.
You're an idiot.
You're an idiot. You're stupid. You're just so.
Your face is stupid.
LJ, you're a weak loser.
You're the one who hasn't
oh,
used his
yeah.
legs in a million years. All the racing you know is cars. My gosh, you're from the South, freaking Kentucky Derby.
Wow.
All you watch is NASCAR, meow, 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 while they go in a circle. Wow! Racing is fantastic! Have you even seen an episode of Speed Racer? Have you seen the Speed Racer movie, Besso?
I've never seen any NASCAR races, and I also never been to Kentucky. Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh.
That's extremely cursed. Please never do that again.
He's just tapping into his true nature.
I'm like freaking Garbodon in the latest in Jungle. All right. So thank you all very much for listening. LJ, cue the music.
I don't want to. You don't deserve music.
Server mute him so we can't hear it.
What?
Wow.
Oh, I don't have that power.
Amazing. Yeah.
Anyway, yes. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you all next week for more exciting I am Meso.
I'm LJ.
And I'm purple.
And Haley was here. But, yeah, she's gone. Thank you all once again, and leave your thoughts on the Lego Movie, the second part, in the comments section below. And while you're at it, Ninjago vs. Bionicle, which movies did it better? We'll see.
That's
next
not
time.
setting a very high bar, Meso.
I know, but even still, LJ wants to discuss the low-hanging fruit. We'll do it.
Oh my gosh.
See y'all next time. Bye.
I'm blacklisting you.